because Christian Yelich had Joey at third and vintage Yelly the other way.
Yelich slaps one to left. RBI single for Christian Yelich. Vintage Yelich right there. It is 3-1 Brewers.
So the misplay out in right field has cost the Mets 3 runs now. There's that crooked number that we've come so accustomed to by this Brewers offense.
3 runs on 3 hits and a walk, and they took that 3-1 lead into the third inning. 1 out base hit off Henderson, but he would get the shutdown frame. Brewers went in order in the bottom half, stayed 3-1 into the 4th inning. Henderson 6 Ks through that first 3 innings. And then in the 4th inning, 1-2-3 for the first time in the game. 2 more strikeouts, 8 through the 4 on 62 pitches. Brewers had a couple of base runners, leadoff walk to Vaughn, Joey with a 2-out base hit. Yelich would bounce out to end that frame. Stayed 3-1 into the 5th inning. Good news and bad news for Logan in that 5th inning. The good news, 9th strikeout, matching a career high. The bad news, a solo homer. I got the Mets within 1. It was 3-2 into the bottom of the 5th inning. Extremely painful in the bottom of the 5th. Ooh, bases loaded, nobody out, and could not score. Are you really?
After they flashed the stat of how good the Brewers are this season with bases loaded all season.
Oh, no. That was painful. Bottom of the 6th inning, Churio base hit, Tarang base hit. Yeah, and that's how they had the bases loaded, with Contreras getting on base. But strikeout and an inning-ending double play did it. Ashby in. Pitched a couple of scoreless. He got it done. Brewers empty in the bottom half. 4-2 into the 8th inning as Abner Uribe came in. Couple of punch-outs, however. Had to work around a couple of base hits, and Trevor McGill in the 9th inning. By the way, I should rewind here. Go back to the 8th inning. Joey Ohtani's, he had a chance for the cycle, and they walked him.
Mets were terrified.
They were afraid of him.
I don't blame them. I'd be afraid of him right now, too. The man
Walk,
can't stop
single,
hitting.
double, triple in this game for Joey Ortiz. McGill ended up giving up a run in that 9th inning, but there's your Brewers victory, 4-3. Yelich did come up with another RBI late in the ball game as well. Gave the Brewers a little bit of breathing room there. Getting your reaction here. 60 games remain here in the regular season of the championship season. And we're getting down to the point where, are you used to it now? I mean, we are used to this, right?
I think so.
Or are you still taking advantage like me? I'll just take advantage. Every win is just sweet. I mean, everyone. I mean, I don't even think they're playing their best baseball.
No, they're not. And I think a lot of that has to do with the amount of injuries you have in your pitching room. You have so many guys, I think, going and rotating out through there. You're making so many decisions that are changed every single day. Miz isn't going to pitch on Sunday, and then he is going to pitch on Sunday. You're moving guys around. I know that doesn't always affect your bats, but I think when guys notice that type of struggle in one part of their locker room, it just becomes the focal point of a team. And I think this Brewers offense has at points been able to pick them up, and I think at other points has struggled a little bit alongside the pitching room. Today was a day where you saw them pick them up a little bit. And I think Logan Henderson had his moments at points in this game where he was struggling a little bit, and it felt like the Brewers offense was there to pick him up. That's what you want to see.
5 innings of 2-run ball for Logan Henderson. He may be one of the more instrumental pitchers down the stretch here, depending on what happens over the trade season here. Cycles in Brewers history. I thought about looking this up, but I really wanted to challenge myself on this, Charlie.
All right.
Can you pull them up?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So don't sue me on this one.
Okay.
Let's see. Now, Yelly has 3. I do know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we'll go Yount and Molitor. They each have 1.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Moore.
Dig through this. This is on a Journal Sentinel article.
Mike Hegan. Pretty sure Mike Hegan had 1.
Yep.
And then Jody Garrett. Uh-huh. Jody Garrett, George Kotaris,
Yep.
and Chad Moeller.
Yep. You got them all? You nailed
Yeah.
it. You're a pro.
Whoa, yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
I did it. I'm proud of myself. All right, Nicolay Law talking text line. Let's get one call in here. Mike in St. Francis, Wisconsin. Mike, what's going on? 4-3. Brewers take 2 of 3 and 5 of 6 out of the break.
Afternoon baseball. Gotta love it, fellas. Thanks for taking my call. It's good to see the pitching pick up our hitters. Nothing more to say. We keep winning. I don't know how we keep winning with this team. This lineup is we just find a way to win, and it's a joy. I'm thinking World Series or bust, but it would be a disappointing season if we didn't make the World Series this year. We're playing great. We're patching the holes. Ortiz had the chance for the cycle today, so it's when does he become Joseph Ortiz? When he's all grown up at third base now. I love third base, putting him there. Pratt's got to learn how to turn that double play, or at least build confidence with the first baseman holding onto the ball and getting out at first there. We had a chance at a double play, but I don't know if that's coaching or if that's inexperience or.
It's yeah. I mean, it's really the game. Mike, thanks for the call, man. I think it's the game is so much quicker at this level for Cooper Pratt. Although we all know he was projected as a prospect to come up and be successful and be pretty good. That doesn't mean you hit the ground running in the big leagues. You hear that term, the game will slow down for you after a while. It's still quite fast for him. You got to make decisions. You got to go through scenarios in your mind before, during, and after a pitch defensively. You got to think during the game, your base running. All of that is so much quicker at this level. And we don't always get every single high-end prospect, because I consider Cooper Pratt a high-end prospect. You don't always get where they're going to just be a beast right away. It just takes a little time. It does. It does for probably 9 out of every 10 of them. This is the same thing that happens to most all prospects. There are some outliers and some exceptions to that, but that's what's going on with Cooper Pratt. But they're finding ways to win. This whole season thus far at 64-38. In my mind, the biggest success has been the pitching staff, without a doubt. I mean, I don't even think it's close, because this offense has been a little inconsistent, but they're finding ways to compete and win.
They win in the clutch moments. That's what they've done all season long, is that when it comes down to 7th, 8th, and 9th, I never really feel like the Brewers are ever out of a game. Last night, when they are down 6-0 going into the bottom of the 9th, I still threw on my rally cap because I had a feeling that the Brewers could make it out of that, man. Like, that's who this offense is. That's who this team is. They're just resilient, and you love to see that, because once Christian Yelich figures it out, I'm hoping he will.
He barreled up 2 today,
right,
guys.
He was
did.
Really good.
He looked great today.
When Bryce Durang gets back out of his slump a little bit, when William Contreras gets a little bit more consistent, because I know those guys can do that and will do that at some point, I get excited about that for sure.
And that's the thing. Will a tweak here or there help this thing? For the most part, this has got to come from within. It's got to come from within this offensive lineup, the way it is now. Will one player make that big of a difference? It will make a difference. Those of you that want to bat, it will make a difference. Yes. Will it make a huge difference? I guess you could argue both ways. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. You want to get one in or take a break?
We can get one more
okay,
in.
Yeah, I want to hold Fergie because I want him to do a little math for me.
All right.
I think we have the reason why Shohei Ohtani has begun to hit. I think it's him, but I'm going to take some credit too.
All right.
He's going to take credit, but I'm going to take some credit getting those Joey chants started. You stay with him.
Uh-huh.
Don't let up when Joey does anything.
He's feeling good right now. Keep letting him feel good.
Joey, just keep going. Just keep doing it. I thought I'd hear more today. Just saying.
And maybe people are getting too comfortable, Tim. Maybe people are like, okay, this is what we got to expect from Joey now. Like they don't need to do the chants anymore.
Just keep it up. Just keep it up. So we'll hold Fergie because I think he might be having some numbers. Fergie, check when you did your thing, and we'll explain that to the audience here in just a couple of minutes. Check and see what Joey's numbers are since that day. All right. So you want to squeeze Cousin Tim in here. Tim, what do you say, man?
Hey, with Henderson, he had 8 strikeouts today, so that's pretty darn good
9.
pitching. Or 9.
Matched a career high 9.
How many times did Ferris Bueller take off?
I don't know.
9 times.
Okay, fair enough.
Or when he went to the base, you know what I mean? Or when he was in skipping school, but hey. But anyways, okay.
Did you just wake up from your nap, or what's happening here?
Yeah, I kind of did, bro. I really I was up. It's just I've been really lethargic today because the weather's so nice. I was so used to that heat. All of a sudden, wow.
Go golfing or something. Go do something, Tim.
Yeah, I'm gonna go golfing, Tim. When my neck is all messed up, my back is. So I'll go do that right away. But no, anyways, with we lost 3 to Pittsburgh. And why is that we always lose 3 to Pittsburgh right before the All-Star break? And then we come back. It was great. It's great. Great, you know? But,
okay.
Anyway.
All right. Good. All right. Thank you, Timmy. All right. There'll be better days. And people strike out once in a while.
Yeah. You know, you have good days, you have bad days.
You get a bad call, and it's 0-1, and now you're in the hole, and foul one off. He tried there, and he fouled one off, and then he just struck out looking.
That's all right.
Okay, we'll take a break, come back. Joey Ortiz almost hit for the cycle today. You think he's going to play down the stretch here? Think about this. What if they do land a third baseman via trade? What happens to Joey?
I think it's more a question of what happens to Cooper Pratt, Tim.
That's what I was going to say. Does that involve then Cooper Pratt with a platoon potentially? I don't know. We'll talk about it. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. There's Charlie Houston, Tim Allen, 4-3. Brewers win, and we're talking about it. much fun is this? Another Brewers victory, 4-3. I mean, as much as we're kind of getting used to it, I don't let it go without being overjoyed with every win. I just don't let it go by. I'm going through, as Brewer fans, if you're a little bit older, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And these days, the fact that they're winning at a clip like this, winning division titles, going to the playoffs every year, I just don't, as much as I want to get used to it, which is cool, I just don't let the enjoyment of it go by. I just don't. Welcome back, Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen along with Charlie Houston today. And a 4-3 victory. They take 2 of 3 against the Mets, sweep the Marlins out of the break. So 5 out of 6 out of the break, and a 64-38 mark with 60 games remaining. And the other thing to ponder here just a little bit, are they better than they were last year? Which one is the better team?
It has to be this year's, right?
It's tough.
You have a Cy Young Award probable winner if they don't rest him too much. I mean, that's on its own, right?
But you had Freddie to level that off.
Yeah, that's true. He was a Cy Young caliber pitcher last year for sure.
I think 5th in Cy Young.
Christian Yelich was a little better last year for sure. He hit 29 homers until he gets hurt. I think him being hurt kind of takes away a little bit from that season last year.
Bryce Terang, I think, was even better last year.
Yeah, but Bryce Terang's first half of the season is kind of matching what we've seen lately from him. So only the second half was super hot from him. So I think it's kind of like he's about similar to me right now in my mind. Joey Ortiz has been better so far over the past month than he ever was last season. I think that's a positive, right?
That is. What about Luis Rengifo and Greg Jones? I'm kidding.
Studs.
I'm kidding. Let's squeeze in. Let's see here. We'll get to Fergie and I don't know. You want to go? Is there a Mike?
There's a John in Franklin we can get to.
John. All right, John. Fergie, you're next. John in Franklin, Wisconsin. What's going on, John?
Tim, what's going on? I'm with TNT, the best post-game show on the planet. That's what's going on.
Okay, well, thank you.
Hey, you posed a question a minute ago that is kind of what I was thinking about, because I want to bat, but third base is was the logical thought process offensively. No one will say anything against Joey's defense, but now that he's hitting, my goodness, I don't know. I am fascinated at what's going to go on or not go on between now and the trade deadline. I'm glad I'm not making those decisions, because there's going to be something done. I'd be clueless to tell you what it's going to be. But on another subject, Tim, you peeling off those Brewers hitting for the cycle, that was
crazy,
level.
Right?
That was absolutely jaw-dropping, dude. I'm a 59-year-old Brewer fan. I remember some of those names, but dude, hats off. That was next level.
All right, John. Thank you. All right. Again, I'm not going to pat myself on the back. It's just what I love. When you love these guys, you love this team. I've said it before. I'm going to continue to say it until they haul me off in a body bag.
Tim, it's a different kind of love, though. Like you are. There's people that love their teams that I can't name every single person that hit a cycle for their franchise, man.
Is it okay to be in love with a baseball team?
Of course it is, but you are him when it comes to that. Sparky pulls out random players all the time too. He might be just as bad as you, but yeah.
Yeah, no, he's extremely good at it. Yeah. I mean, you go back to, again, to collect the baseball cards, that's where it started. Just a snot-nosed little kid riding around on a bike and being a lonesome loser and going to collect baseball cards and rolling up to a bunch of older guys playing baseball and saying, can I play? Can I play? And they'll give me one at-bat for the day and say, go sit down.
It's better than no at-bats. At least they let you get one.
Eat your Hostess apple pie, some Doritos, and a couple packs of baseball cards. That about is why I know the stuff about the Brewers. I'm not alone. You guys love it too. 414-677-1250 on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Fergie, okay, so what was the date? Let's catch people up here along the network and on the show. So Fergie, you purchased Front Row Amy's ticket for a game. When was that?
June 30th.
June 30th. Okay, so we got a chunk of games in here. Granted, you have the All-Star break. But June 30th, you purchased that ticket from Front Row Amy, and we're going to call you Front Row Fergie. And that day, you approached Sophia Minert from Brewers TV, and you had speaking of baseball cards, you had a Joey Ortiz 1-of-1. Was that a rookie card?
So it was a 1-of-1 printing plate of his Topps Chrome rookie card, and it was autographed.
And autographed. So you asked Sophia, hey, man, can you just give this to Ortiz? You didn't want anything for it. You just said, hey, can you give it to Joey?
Yeah.
Since June 30th.
No, I should have probably asked for a bat, but that's okay.
I said yesterday I would have wanted like a free hot dog pass for the rest of my life for like a home run ball or a card like that. Yeah.
Oh, if he would have hit the homer today and hit for the cycle, that would have been off the charts. So what are the numbers? If you don't have them, Fergie, we can have Charlie grab them. What are his numbers since June 30th?
According to our friend Gemini, and so take this with a grain of salt, but I did confirm at least the month of July matches this. He's hitting 300 with an 894 OPS.
That is crazy.
And I joke. I am glad to see him succeeding. I think the Joey chant kind of dying down now is because he's having some success. It's a Milwaukee thing. It's a very Milwaukee, maybe Midwest thing, although not Chicago, because Chicago is a alien planet with a bunch of weirdos that live in it. We root for the underdog here. If you're putting in the work and you're working your ass off and you're giving it your best and the results aren't really coming, we're still with you as a fan base. The people we turn on are the guys that basically lollygag and loaf. Even if their numbers are good, we get pissed at them. It's a Midwest work ethic kind of thing. I think Joey endears himself to a lot of fans. Not all of them. Most of the ones that don't like him seem to call here. That's another conversation for a different day.
Just out of curiosity, though, Charlie, what after this game, what are the latest batting averages for Christian Yelich and Joey Ortiz?
All right, let's see. So
just as of right now, just the batting average. So what's Yelich? Now Yelich's been you can see a little turning of the corner with Christian Yelich right now, but Joey Ortiz has been way over the charts for Joey Ortiz.
So let's see. Christian Yelich after this game, he is up to 243 with the Brewers after those 2 hits. Joey Ortiz is up to 239.
4-point difference. See how we judge players a little bit differently? Where this is Joey Ortiz and we're like, woo, yeah.
I think it's defensible to a certain extent. I mean, when you're talking about Christian Yelich, you're talking about a guy that has MVP behind his name.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're going to judge his numbers slightly differently. This is basically Yelich's floor. We're looking at Joey's more or less ceiling. I mean, I don't know if he
approaching
can do this for
it,
an entire
yeah.
season. I don't know if he can do this for a whole season. I would love to see it. There's no kid on that roster that I want to see succeed more than Joey. Mostly because I want people to have to eat a lot of crow. Because everybody gave up on him. Everybody gave up on him. I mean, they just kind of threw him over the side. They thought he was just flat out garbage. He never was horrible. He had, rough time at the plate, but that wasn't even for a full season.
Well, and the other thing, the way you
last year was good.
Yeah, and the way you judge these guys, I think also is you're right. The expectations in bar are higher. They are higher for Christian Yelich. On the other hand, they're a little bit lower for Joey. But what do you want out of Joey Ortiz offensively? What do you think you're going to get out of maybe the worst hitter on any team? Go look at any team. What's the lowest? What's the lowest batting average on that team? They don't expect a whole ton out of Joey Ortiz offensively.
That's why he's in the 9 hole. But that brings up another point. Since the All-Star break, the bottom half of this lineup is the one that is what's carrying them.
Oh, I gave you the metric at the start. After their first at bat of Yelich, Churio, Terang, and William Contreras, after their first at bat today, since the break, they were 9 for 66, good for a 134 batting average collectively. Yet they won. Now, again, prior to today's game, they won 4 of the 5 games, though. And that's because of what you just said, the lower part of the order.
But what that also demonstrates, and what I think fans need to kind of to understand, is baseball is the consummate team game. It's 9 together. You're all pulling in the same direction. I watched an interview today that they had Pratt on MLB Central this morning, and they asked him, what's the special sauce? And he said, everybody's in it together. These are players that all just want to win. They're not stat patters. They're not looking at their numbers. They're not worried about their next contract. They're there to win baseball games, and that's really all that they're motivated to do. And
really cool stuff. Cool stuff, Fergie. Hey, and thanks for the call, man. That is so cool. The other thing to think about here is a lot of times when the whole team is hitting, that may not necessarily be a good thing for consistent winning, because that's the volatile nature of offense, is that it goes up and it comes down a little bit. It can be volatile, okay? If all of them are hitting at one time, it's probably a safe bet that they're going to come back down to earth at the same time again. I think you want about half your lineup.
I think it's if you have everybody hitting at the same time or everybody pitching well at the same time, you get the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are almost exactly 500, who have these spurts, these couple series in a row where they're hitting 10 home runs in those series, and then all of a sudden they are the worst offense in baseball for a couple of weeks, and their pitching looks phenomenal, but then they can't win games that way, or they're only winning half their games that way. You can't survive off of that metric, for sure.
John and Franklin brought up a word that I'm completely all in on. This to the deadline is going to be fascinating, what the Brewers do here. It is absolutely edge of your seat sort of thing. Well, at least for me it is. I mean, yeah. I mean, you may have other things going on, like important things. But for me, I just edge of my seat. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to, I don't think Joey Ortiz and his upgrade in hitting right now, I said it last night, I don't think it will impact the goals that the Brewers have had prior to him getting hot. I still think they go with their plan, whatever that is, but I am fascinated by it. We'll take a break. An hour to go here. If you guys want to jump in, 414-677-1250 on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Brewers win 4-3. Charlie Usen, Tim Allen, Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios.
fans, the game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Slow it down, slow. Don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? There's 102 games into the season already. There's only 60 left.
Does it feel like it's been that much?
It's just going too fast for me. I mean, what am I going to do in the wintertime? Who cares? I got Friday night, Brewers Rockies. And we're talking about the Brewers win today, 4-3 over the New York Mets to take the game in the series, 5-1 out of the break. You'll take that. Staring down the barrel of a 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies, in which they have the worst record in the National League. Win 2 out of 3 there. And you can go 7-2 on this 9-game homestand out of the break. Take it. Take it to the bank. We'll get to your calls here in just a second. Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. Baseball coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. All right, let's get back to you guys. Let's say hello to Tom. Felt the need to call the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. What's up, Tom?
How you doing, guys?
More important, how you are.
I'm doing very well. I am going to share my current diet when it comes to Joey Ortiz.
Okay.
For breakfast, I have crow pancakes. For lunch, I have a crow sandwich, and for dinner, I have crow stew.
That's cool.
So my hope is that I'll be eating that the rest of the season.
Oh, if he's going to play like this, eat away, man. A second serving for sure.
And everybody talks about the genius of Chris Hook and Jim Henderson, but I would love to be a fly on the wall to listen to what happened with Joey Ortiz, or a discussion between him and the hitting coaches, because this is really unprecedented, I think.
Well, a few months ago, I don't think a few months ago it would have surprised too many people if Joey Ortiz would have found himself in Nashville.
Well, no, and I was saying trade Nashville, bring up. I mean, we don't really have Andrew Fisher. We don't have anybody defensively in the minors that could even match him at third.
No.
But this is just enjoy the ride. And I'm the first to admit, the most humblest ways, I will eat as much crow as I have.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Guys.
All right. You got it. It's okay to be wrong, man. It's fine.
You should be happy to eat crow in these moments.
That's true. That's true.
That's when Front Row Fergie was talking about that. He's like, all these other people, they're going to eat it. It's like, they should be welcome that. That's what you want. If Joey Ortiz proves you wrong, you should be happy about that. Yeah. Yes, I know a lot of people were hard on him, and now it's cool to see him flip that narrative. But you shouldn't wish that other fans all of a sudden are breaking away from the team or being mad at the team because they were wrong about something. Be happy that they were wrong and invite them back on and root on Joey Ortiz, because this is awesome what he's been able to do over the past month or so. I
mean, when you get to the point where you feel really bad for a player, and I've been there on a couple of different players this year. Instead of hammering on a Blake Perkins or a Greg Jones or whoever it might be, I get to the point where I just feel bad for him. And I've been known to have a sharp edge at times, but I do feel bad for guys that scuffle. Like, that cannot be easy. Oh, how do you feel when you're not having a good day at work or a good run at work? You feel horrible, don't you?
Mm-hmm. And you don't want anybody to point it out that you're having a bad day. You don't want anybody to rag on you for having a bad day. Assume that your entire career has been bad because you had one bad day or one bad week. Like, that's not how life works. So yeah, I can see how that'd be frustrating or difficult for these players to work through that.
Pretty interesting though. Yelly with a 243 average and Joey Ortiz 239. Sort of interesting.
I mean, at least they're both above like 220, I think is where I start getting concerned. And if you're not hitting like 30 home runs at 220, then it's really going to be a problem.
Yeah,
but
the two and a quarter, 230 would be my mark at the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to Craig on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. Hello, Craig.
Hey, how you guys doing?
More important how you are.
Good. Yeah, I was just thinking, big picture, got a lot of young pitchers right now. Usually it takes those a couple, 2-3 years to build those arms up where they can pitch, 180 to 200 innings. I think the Brewers should really kind of map it out. Like, will we control those pitchers, when Fisher and Matty up? Are there going to be years where we still control, have that team control over those pitchers, and then also have our best hitters prospects up at the majors? So maybe the Brewers have like a 2-year window, and then, one of those years, maybe that's the year that you make a big move with one of your high-level prospects and really go up for a,
would you make
deadline.
Yeah, we used the word fascinating, or John did when he called. Would you go for it this year in terms of a big splash and moving some prospects out?
No, I think I'd wait a couple of years just because we have to get, if we can get Fisher up here, Matty up here, and still be controlling a lot of the young pitchers and have their arms ready to go for the playoffs. I think those arms aren't going to be as effective by the time the playoffs roll around. So I think it's just kind of I just don't think this is the year. I think it's maybe maybe we'll have a 1 or 2 year window, but I think that might be, 2 years away, maybe before that window really opens up.
Craig, that being said, though, do you think they would then still, despite that, you just sit pat and maybe add a reliever or something? Do you think they still then at this point through 102 games that they would have a chance to make it to a World Series?
I think, I think they still have a chance. I mean, as long as they can kind of manage those arms well enough where they're still effective, because last year in the playoffs, I think maybe Murphy kind of outsmarted himself a little bit with all his variations in the pitching patterns, but just let these guys pitch, because we got some really good starters right now, and maybe just let them pitch and get that experience without trying to, play all the games with the rotation again this year.
All right, Craig, good conversation, man. Call anytime. We appreciate it. They are sort of mapping out their pitching right now. We're well aware of that and watching over innings and that sort of thing. But does that sound strange? I don't know if it's that strange because we all want to go for it all the time. Don't we? As fans.
I think so. And I think, like, to your point, you sit on the edge of your seat for every single game. Sparky and I were kind of getting into this conversation yesterday before they announced that Miz was going to end up pitching on Sunday. This is when they said they were going to skip a start,
right.
Sproat pitch on the kind of short rest comparatively. That, if I was Jacob Mizorowski, I would be mad that they're stretching me out a little bit. As much as I know this helps my chance at winning a World Series this year, I'm also the front runner for Cy Young. My guy Aaron Ashby is the only reason I might not win a Triple Crown this year. Like these are the things that I would think about as a 25-year-old, because I am a 24-year-old, so I'm in kind of the same boat, like age-wise as he is. I think going into these times, it's got to be tough to tell all these young pitchers, tell the ones that are pitching really well, even telling some veteran pitchers that, hey, we need to take a break. We need to take a step back because there's bigger goals ahead of us, when maybe some of them are having electric seasons.
It's difficult for me to, Craig, to your point, now I'll combat you just a little bit. It's difficult for me to know this team is this good last year and this year. Last year, they won more games than anyone else in the regular season. This year, it looks like they're headed in that direction also. It's very difficult for me to not really kind of legitimately kind of go for a World Series title. That's just such a tough pill for me to swallow. I understand it from an organizational standpoint, but who am I? I'm just a fan. I don't run the organization. I'm not the GM. I'm not the owner. I'm not the manager. I'm not the coaching staff or the players. What I am is a fan. And what I do know, and at least I do, I default to always what we know for sure. And what we know for sure right now is this team has not won a World Series in over 50 years. That's what we do know. Is it fun winning all these games? Of course.
Sure.
And if they decide to not, by definition, go for it, slide a bunch of chips in, make a bunch of splashy moves, get rid of a bunch of prospects. If they decide to do that and not to do that, I don't have control over that.
Tim, if we head on over to the Nicolay Law talk and text on the text side of things, 262, they ask, could the uncertainty of the upcoming CBA negotiations affect what the Brewers do at this trade deadline?
I think it could, and I think we're kind of considering that in all of baseball. The other thing is, as of Sunday, 23 of the 30 teams were within 4 games of a playoff spot. That's going to impact things too.
But what's nice about the Brewers is not only do they have a really deep farm system, they have pitchers at the major league level that I think teams are going to be interested in. Logan Henderson and Robert Gasser. That's if you feel like Logan Henderson, you're getting enough value for him. But Robert Gasser, I think, is going to be on the market for sure. And I think in your outfield, you have players. And this is all dependent on Sal Frelick and whether or not his second opinion that he's getting is going to be a bigger issue than what the initial opinion thought.
That's not a good sign.
You hate hearing second opinions. That's always not good. Yeah. But I also think, and I keep putting this out there, I understand he's playing really well lately, but Garrett Mitchell is going to be a really enticing trade piece to a lot of teams that are either looking to still compete, or B, that are playing down this year that may want to compete in the upcoming years. And if you could get, again, the right kind of value for that, and teams are going to be giving you offers, you got to listen at least.
You do. And know this, that if and when they do move prospects, it does hurt at times. It's going to hurt at times. It just means you're that much closer, though. When you're trading high-end prospects, some of them are going to hit, meaning splash and be good. And that is going to hurt looking back in hindsight. But look at it as, if not now, then when? And I don't want to open up. We don't have a ton of time, but we've got till the top of the hour, so a little over half hour. I don't want to be that. This perpetual winning a bunch of games and getting bounced at some point in the playoffs, and which is fun. I get it. I totally understand. I'm having a blast the last decade. Don't get me wrong. It's been a honeymoon. But if the bar is now set at that, is that the ceiling? I can't believe that that's the ceiling then. I just refuse to believe that would be the ceiling.
Well, and
that's all they would want out of this thing, is to compete on a regular basis, win a bunch of games, win an occasional playoff series, land in the NLCS, be right there. And then you get bounced out and, oh, it sucks. And then you got to look back and say, you know what? There's got to be more. We've already been there, done that. I don't know if it's this year. I don't know what their plan of attack is. Of course, every team wants to win the World Series. I understand. That should be the goal for every team, every single one. I don't care what. It should have been the goal for the Colorado Rockies coming into this season. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's the only way to do this.
Look at where the White Sox are right now. The White Sox weren't supposed to be. They were supposed to be in the same boat as the Colorado Rockies. So any team with that kind of aspirations can get to that point.
But again, though, I would hate for this to be the pinnacle for the organization, or that might be not fair. I would hate for them to be content with this year in and year out.
Like, hate for this to be the ceiling that they're
for the top, I guess. Yeah. All right. You want to squeeze in another call?
Yeah, we can hit one more. Let's head on over to Michael in South Milwaukee. You are on with Tim Allen on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show.
Hey guys, going on this trade deadline, trying to be buyers. I think it's a lot like how the housing market is in the real life. Because the American League is so bad, almost 80% of that league is going to be potentially thinking they could be buyers. So I guess my big question with going all in is how many teams are really going to be selling? And that's where I get a little worried about what's actually out there that you're trying to buy right now.
Well, and I would look at it too, and that's a great question, Mike. Thanks for the call. I would look at it too, if I were the Rockies, if I were the LA Angels, if I were the San Francisco Giants, instead of the big shot, the Goliath going henpecking to the little guy, if I were those teams, the little guy,
Mhm.
I would go at the Brewers
Mhm.
and say, hey, I've been looking at your situation there, Milwaukee Brewers. I think you could use this.
We got 5 starting pitchers that you may be interested in. We got a
Whoever
few
it is.
outfielders, a few corner guys, whatever. Take anybody. Yeah.
And I'm not going to ask for the farm because I know you won't give it, but I do want that guy and that guy. See, I would shop from the bottom up if I were those teams, because you go to those teams, then they're just going to jack the price up. But I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. I do know that.
Those are just bad teams, though, and are the value of those players. And I know pitching-wise, the Brewers have been able to work with whoever to get to that point. But are you going to find enough value at other positions that's worth a trade? Like Mickey Moniak has had a great season for Colorado so far this year. He's going to be on the trade market. But he's also a guy that in an outfield, unless you're trading away Sal Frelick too in that trade, which again might not happen if he hits the 60-day or something like that. But if you move it to Sal Frelick, that's the only way you're making that work. Like that feels unnecessary to go and get a Mickey Moniak just because he's the best player from the Rockies.
Yeah, it's going to be, again,
it's going to be weird,
fascinating. All right, can't wait. All right, we'll take a break. Pat Murphy on the way. There's still some time for you if you want to jump in here. 414-677-1250 on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. It's the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen alongside Charlie Houston today. A 4-3 Brewers victory. Another series win. They've won 5 of 6 out of the break. 60 games remain here in the 26 championship season. That is the regular season schedule. 102 in the books at 64-38. We'll be back talking Brewers baseball.
Who gave the crew some breathing room? What play was it? It's time for the insurance run of the game. Brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. On the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Guys, we will get to you. We see you there on hold, so sit tight. Time for the G2 Insurance run of the game. It's brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. And in sports, you want a teammate who's been there before. In Wisconsin, that teammate is G2 Insurance Services. They aren't just an agency. They're your friend in insurance. Whether you're a business owner needing a specialized BOP or a homeowner protecting your family, G2 builds relationships on honesty and value. From auto and home to complex commercial coverage, Tom and the team at G2 have been the neighborhood pros since 2004. Don't get caught without a game plan. Call G2 Insurance Services today at 262-784-0644 or visit G2INS.com. G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. I think you have to go to, in a 4-3 game, I mean, this is legitimately, by definition, the insurance run of the game because you're up 3-2 at that time. Sixth inning, and you need a little wiggle room, and it did provide insurance because you ended up winning 4-3, but that fourth run, big-time insurance from Christian Yelich.
1-1, Yelich, center field, that is way back there, Ewing on the run, and he cannot get it, takes a huge bounce, in to score Ortiz, Yelich on his way to third, and he's in there, an RBI triple. Christian Yelich makes it 4-2 Brewers.
There it is on Brewers TV, BA on the call. And now we'll get to a couple of more phone calls here. Let's go to Brian. Brian, you're next here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show.
Hey, guys, thanks for my call. You know what? The Rams have a perfect philosophy. We win. Now, you don't sit and milk prospects because there's no guarantee they're going to turn out. You turn around and you trade. I don't say they have to clear out the farm system, but they're very close. I mean, they're close as about it. They have been probably in the last 10 years. You've got to go for it. This is the time. You don't know who's going to get injured next year and 2 years from now. So I think that last caller was drinking because a couple calls ago, you got a chance to win. Now you go for it. You worry about next year. You don't keep playing this sandbag like, well, if I got a chance to take out Miss Teen Queen, no, I think I'll wait. I'll hold off for a little while. No, you go for it. If you got a chance to win, this is what you're in it to win it, right? And I'm going to tell you, if any real Brewer fan has followed the Brewers for the last 2 years, we've all been nervous as a pregnant mom every summer. We keep wishing for that one magical trade, the Brewers are right there. I mean, they have everything you'd want in a winner. They got great guys on the team, and that's another thing nobody ever talks about. They got great guys on the team. You never hear these guys get in trouble with the police or about. I mean, we have a good team, so we just need 1 or 2 hitters. And you know what? You've got to go for it. This thing about, well, we want to keep stocking draft picks for what? So 2 out of 20 turn out to be all-stars? No, you've got to go for it. You can't sit back because everybody else is going for it. You don't worry about what the Mets went for and they busted. You don't have to go that crazy, but make a trade, a legitimate. You got guys on the roster now. I guarantee you right now, anybody that believes that Joey Ortiz is going to do this in the playoffs to buy a bag of fool's gold. This is you're not. Little Joey is hotter than the June bride. Get at him. He should be a defensive replacement in the playoffs. He should not be batting with the bases loaded in Game 3 and you're down 2-0.
All of what you, Brian, all of what you said. Thank you. All of what you said. You have a lot of Brewer fans agreeing with you, and I'm going to agree with you to the extent on Ortiz that I've said it for a few months now. I think he's valuable to this team. He is. Whether he's a starter, we can debate that. But as you said, Brian, a pinch runner, a pinch hitter maybe against a lefty. He tends to do well against lefties. Defensive replacement, he can steal a base. By the way, he did steal a base today. Walk, stolen base, single, double, triple.
Utility knife out there, man.
Oh, my goodness. Brewer Mike, what's going on?
Hey, guys. I want to shout out to the Waukesha Police Department real quick before I get what I called for.
Okay, shout away.
I'm driving last night, and I haven't had a front plate on my car for like 3 years. So this cop pulls me over. And I have an old car. You roll the windows down, So there's two cops, one on one side, one on the other. Guy on the right side says, roll your window down. He heard my voice. He goes, you're Brewer Mike, aren't you?
You're a superstar.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You know what he said to his partner? Give him his license back. I'm dead serious. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. He goes, I am a big follower of Tim Allen and you. And he says, half the force is coming to your game on Sunday on 20th in Oklahoma, my 7,000th game. Timmy, they want you there.
I'm trying.
They want you. Try hard. Try hard. If I got to come and pick your, you know what, up, I would. I'm serious.
Waukesha
Tim,
law enforcement. That story is alleged. Just saying.
It's you can't make this up.
Yeah.
And I know they're listening right now and they're probably cracking up. But hey, I love you guys. And hey, I wasn't drinking. I think they thought I was drinking because it was about 11 o'clock at night. You know, and there's not much going on in Waukesha except guys committing suicide on railroad
I
tracks.
thought you were pulling a Giovanni Gallardo. Oh, I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Nice. That's a good catch. Hey,
all right, Mike.
Everyone that is bashing Joey, Tim, he's finally happy where he's at. Okay,
could be.
And yes, I think he is. And if it's Game 7, let's just pretend. I know I've been trying to pretend for 60 years that the Brewers are 1 out away, and the bases are loaded, and they're down by 3, and Ortiz is up. He's hitting that granny.
I think a lot of people would disagree with that, Mike. I got to be honest.
I don't care. They're all high. You know, I'm Brewer Mike. I'm not Mr. Negative. Joey.
All right, Mike.
Jimmy,
I do have to go, buddy. But yeah, take it easy. Let's get Tony in here. We do have Pat Murphy coming up. Tony, what's going on?
Just a little bit of Joey. I mean, like the transition or whatever. Yeah. I mean, come on now. But first of all, I love the show. I'm really happy to hear Charlie on because I've been wanting to tell you guys to sign this guy to a long-term deal.
Okay.
Promising future. And Tim, I just want to make sure you get full props for that cycle call. Man, that was damn impressive. I remember.
You know what bugs me? You know what bugs me when the more I think about that cycles. It's been bothering me in the back of my brain, just a little wiggle back in there.
No, I don't know.
I can't remember what number Mike Hegan was. I want to say it's
Mike Hegan. Yeah.
I want to say it's. I'm not real. I want to say it's 8, but Charlie's going to look it up. I think it was.
I was a little kid.
8 or 6.
Well, he looks that up.
Maybe.
I was a little kid. And I heard somebody hit for the cycle. I said, what the heck is that? And I looked it up, and I had this little brewer's guide, whatever. And I found out Mike Keegan was like 71 or 72. He was like the first brewer to hit for a cycle. He might even, maybe you know this, but he might even come from the Seattle Pilots. I mean,
I think he did.
He does. 1969 started with the Pilots through 1971. That when they became the Brewers, he wore number 8 during that stint. He had a second stint though where he wore 6 and then 4.
Baby, yes.
So he wore 2 numbers in that second stint.
Got it.
So anyway,
okay.
I was going for Tim the whole time. I was going Mike Keegan, because I knew that since I was a little kid, because that was the first thing I looked up.
He was my first, one of my first autographs. One of the first players that I ever got super close to. He was at a. I don't think it was a sports collectible thing, but I think it was more of a rummage sale thing, like a big 7 Mile Fair.
Yeah.
It wasn't 7 Mile Fair, but it was maybe a sports thing where he had a little booth, and I had him autograph a Mike Hegan baseball card. Just was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a nice nugget of Brewers history.
Went on to play for the Yankees, and then was a Brewers broadcaster.
Yeah,
too.
I just got an anonymous call that said he wore 4 as a broadcaster. That's why he wears 4 and has 4 in his baseball reference.
As a broadcaster.
Okay.
Well, how do we retire him then?
Dang, 8 and 6. See, that's why I was confused. Tony, I do have to scoot, man. Thanks
so
for
much fun, you guys. Keep it
all
up.
right. Yeah, take it easy. Okay. Do you want to break and get to Murph? Or
Yeah,
what
we can
do
take.
want to do here?
We do have one more call that we could
Okay,
get
let's
to.
get
if you want to.
get our last call. In here.
Steve in Waukesha, you're on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show.
What do you say, Steve?
Yeah, take it easy.
Okay,
There's
delay.
You want to break and get the
All right, Steve's not there.
Yeah,
Never mind,
he
Steve.
was. Yeah, sorry, Steve. All right, we'll take a break. Get to Pat Murphy as the Brewers get to 4-3 victory to take the game and the series. It's a big win. You take the series, you head into a very comforting off day tomorrow, and then you face the Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember this when you preview the Brewers Rockies. Good teams beat bad teams. It's usually the way it works. You got to have the series in this one, don't you? At home, and Miz is one of them.
Pretty easy.
You got to have the series. All right, Pat Murphy on the other side. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios.
The game is over, and it's time to hear from the skipper on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
4-3 the final as the Brewers win the game in the series. You know how important that first game of a series is. I think that's really kind of a stat that people overlook a little bit at times. You win that first game of the series, man, that gives you a shot in the next two, and it just takes a little bit of the pressure away a little bit, and that's what happened here in the Mets series. It also sets you up, like it did in the Marlins series, to maybe grab that game too and go after the sweep, and you got it. But nonetheless, hey, we're going to hear all the conversation about Joey Ortiz on this big day for Joey. I mean, let's face it, it's a big part of this victory, as well as Christian Yelich. You know, the other guys, they did get the table set, and how painful was it in a few of those innings? Charlie, you get the bases loaded, nobody out. And wow, a strikeout, pitching change, inning-ending ground ball double play. That is so painful.
Well, and somebody brought up, Joey Ortiz, when he gets up there, he's going to be awesome with Joey Ortiz has been the worst bases loaded hitter in all of baseball history. Like
not good.
Not even just this season.
Yeah.
And I don't care if he's as good as he is now. Like that would make me nervous if I see Joey Ortiz up with the bases loaded. I'd rather see almost anybody else. It's just frustrating that in a game like this where yesterday was so frustrating too. It would be nice to have gotten another 2 or 3 or 4 runs even maybe out of that situation.
Yeah. So we're going to hear from Joey Ortiz here in just a couple of minutes. But first, we need to hear from the skipper. Let's hear from Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
All right, guys, what do we got?
Some of those games where you see some loud contact and look up and see the 0, 2 really hit.
I mean, that kid, for them, pitched very well. He attacked the zone. He didn't give up free bases.
Give me 1 second. That's strange. I think Spencer's
get any timely hits, and they didn't give up any free bases, so credit them.
What?
Let's see. Looks like Spencer sent me, or the one we got was from yesterday for some reason.
That's what we're playing now?
No, let me see. I got the other one here. All right, here we go. This is Pat Murphy from today.
It's great to see, you know what I mean? He played a whole game today, like a complete game. Great defense. Stole a base, took a walk. Yeah, it was great. Our pitching staff, again, that's a good lineup. That's a good pitching staff. That's a good team. Man, don't get them hot. You know what I mean? They're really, really good. I thought Henderson did fine. I've seen him better, but I thought he did what he does, you know, gave us 80-plus pitches, 5 innings. I thought Ashby and Uribe were really good, and McGill got it done. How about Yelich today? That was 9-pitch at bat to lead off the game, which is underrated. RBI triple. Good at bats against really good pitching. So go ahead. Sorry. What were you saying? Yeah, I mean, I really believe, and we all say this all the time, you know, you talk about confidence, you know, like when a guy starts to believe, he's just in a good free space. You know what I mean? He's just like, hey, whatever they got, whatever they're going to deal me, whatever cards, I'm good. Just let's go play and have fun. And I'm just really happy for the person. You know what I mean? I'm just really happy for him. Yeah, sees the ball a little more confident with 2 strikes, a little more confident, period. Just swinging the bat with conviction. And, you know, 2 of his knocks the other way. That's when you know he's going good. You know, uses the whole field.
Did he need to see some sustained success before getting that confidence?
I mean, that's the ultimate question, right? Is the confidence come before the results, or the results create the confidence? I think that it you have to be mentally strong enough to get through what he was going through. And he was, and he should feel great about that, and that should give him great confidence. And then when the results start coming, it's a little different level of certainty, and I'm just really happy for him.
When you see Anderson, you've seen him better.
Yeah.
On a day like today where he just kind of gets through it. What do you like about that?
Yeah, I mean, he got the big punch out. His changeup was good at times. It was really good. Got a bunch of punch outs with it. How many do you have? 9 punch outs. That's a lot, and mostly with changeup. His cutter wasn't quite as good all day today. His heater wasn't as sharp, as it has been. He's got to understand that heater plays up. It's a low release, and that heater plays pretty good, even though the number might say 93. It plays more like 95, 96. So, yeah, I've seen him a little sharper. He goosed a few changeups in there later in the game. Yeah. But I'm pumped for Yelly. Terang's defense, Terang's base run. Two sensational plays on defense. His base running excellent, and his getting on base 3 times. 2 walks. You got to do it. You got to take your walks.
Set for a head walk for himself, just in terms of when you're evaluating.
Yeah. I mean, I really think this kid is really good. I told him early in the season, you're going to play a huge role on this team. I guarantee it. Before he came to the big leagues, he's got to stay healthy, keep working, keep his confidence going. This is a good offensive team, and they're playing better lately. And you got guys like Lindor hot. You got guys, Bichette's just a professional hitter. You got Lindor swinging it better. You got Simeon now healthy, coming back. There's just a lot of ability in that deal. That leadoff kid, he can play for anybody.
All right, there he is, Pat Murphy. Okay, a couple of things here. Notice how he's went back to the well with Yelich a couple of times in there. Mm-hmm. He understands. I think this is all about, and I totally get it, and I'm with him on it. They need Yelich. Every day, they need Yelich. To get where they want to go, which is the World Series, they need Yelich. So I'm convinced he's thinking the same thing. And the other thing with Henderson did dot a couple of fastballs. In fact, he got a strikeout looking on the black on a fastball. So his fastball wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. And then Joey Ortiz, and we need to hear from Joey on a day like today and the role that he's on. Let's hear a couple of comments from the Brewers' third baseman.
How satisfying has this kind of 2-week stretch of your consistency at the plate been for you?
It's been good. I mean, it's a lot of hard work in the cages and stuff. So it's good that it's showing up on the field, and I'm really worried about, winning ball games. That's all I really care about, and to be able to produce and, help the team in that aspect is a good thing.
When you talk about working the cage, is it something specific that you were doing, or was it just continuing what you had been working on all year?
Yeah, just being consistent with what I've been doing. I mean, even in the beginning of the year, I feel like my swings were good, and it's just, sometimes baseball goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. It's going my way right now.
If you called it a complete game for you, kind of what does it feel like when you're out there playing both offensively and defensively?
It's great. I mean, like I said, the big thing is winning ball games. So anytime I can help the team on both sides, that's all I care about.
Joey, how, if at all, has your confidence fluctuated throughout last year and then this year as well?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's fluctuated. I feel like I'm confident enough to, go out and compete. And, I always feel like I'm able to be at this level and compete at this level. So I think the confidence is there. It's just about, taking it day by day and keep moving forward.
How do you do that and compound this performance offensively?
We go into the off day. We have a good rest. And then, the next series, we just worry about that day by day and keep things simple.
And you just put that play playing the ninth, just what's your vantage point there? You're playing in and diving forward.
Yeah, just playing in case he was ready to bunt, and he had a good ball, but I was able to get the glove on it and make a good throw and end the ball game. Not really much to it.
Joey, is a home run on your mind in that last AB, knowing the cycle's possible for you?
Yeah, of course, but as a 9-hitter, my job isn't to go up and swing for the fences. It's to get on, and especially in a 4-2 ball game, it's the last thing I want to do is try and swing for the fences. I'd rather get on and have Yelly hit me and get 3 runs on the board, or be winning by 3 runs on the board, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, there he is, Joey Ortiz. After the Brewers' 4-3 victory, sounds great. He really does.
He sounds like happy, which is
he does.
This is good. That's what you want.
Going back to Murph, what he said about the Mets, I will probably push back a little bit on that's a good team. And here's why. What are they, 17 games under?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the record is.
Yeah, way too far gone.
Something like that. That's kind of not a good team through 102 games.
Yeah, but the talent in that roster is legit,
sure.
even if it's not playing up to the par right now.
How about I meet Murph in the middle saying they're having a bad year?
Yeah. I think that's better put. Yeah.
Would that be fair?
I think that's fair.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. It's just me. But the better team normally wins. Once in a while, the outliers there. I get it. I totally understand. But when you're a good team, you beat the bad teams. And they're not very good right now.
No.
They're just not.
They're pretty abysmal, actually.
Are there good right? Are there good players on that team? Sure. There's good players on the Rockies too. And they can sting you a little bit. But how about good players having a bad year as a team? Yeah, there we go. Bye-bye, New York Yankees. David Stearns, Devin Williams, Freddie Peralta, Tyrone Taylor.
New York Brewers.
Yeah,
Tobias Myers is there, isn't he too?
Tobias, yeah. There's another one. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Brewers, with the off day tomorrow, there'll be more Brewers conversation tomorrow morning with the wake-up call, and then you'll have the Steve Zabin show. I'll be on with Rami and Kuhn, 9 to noon. I'll be on at 11 with those guys. It's always a fun conversation with those guys. Mason Crosby show with Mason and Thunder tomorrow at noon. And then Sparky's going to be talking Brewers baseball, among other things, with you tomorrow afternoon.
It's going to be fun. I always love talking Brewers with Sparky because he gets way too worked up about everything.
Brewers back at it on Friday night after the off day tomorrow. It's game 1 of a 3-game weekend series against the Colorado Rockies. Drowan on the hill, and 6:40 first pitch. The leadoff show gets you ready at 5 o'clock. And after the game, we'll be right back here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios talking Brewers baseball on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Once again, the final today, 4-3. Little bit of a nail biter there with Trevor McGill in the 9th inning, but he got it done, as Murph said. He got it done. And the Brewers now 64-38 through 102 games, 60 left on the regular schedule here in the 26 championship season. And we definitely cross our fingers for that championship season part. For Charlie Houston, my name is Tim Allen. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again on Friday after the Rockies lose to the Brewers. How does that sound? And remember, as always, smile, Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.